All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks for taking your time to join the session tonight. Tonight, we'll be looking at software testing for those that wants to transition into that space, the reason why you should transition, or the reason why you should consider software testing as your next career stop. But before we dive in deep, I'd like to tell you about the company, introduce introduce myself to you, share a few slides with you, then I'll hand you over to the facilitator that will be taking you on the journey. If you are to be joining the next cohort that will be starting on the 22nd. Then finally, we'll open the line for any questions and answer that you may have at the end of the day. So that will be the order of the day. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, or you can as well drop your questions in the chat as well. You can be rest assured that everything will be, looked at at the end of the session. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. My name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. Learn with Pride is an IT training organization based in the UK, but we serve everyone around the world. The sole purpose of our existence is to help those that wants to transition either from non-IT background or non-technical background into the IT space. So we run different IT programs, like 8 different IT programs ranging from software testing, Scrum Master, business analysis, product owner, product management, DevOps, data analysis, just to mention a few. We run like 8 different trainings, practical trainings. Why are we different? We are different because we prepare you so that at the end of our program, you can hit the ground running. You can compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2-3 years. That's the way we are going to equip you. So it's going to be fully hands-on training. And unlike other trainings as well, um, ours is really, that's why we dedicated so many months into the process, because we believe what is worth doing at all, it's worth doing well. So it's better for us to, you know, take you properly on the journey than just take you for a month and discharge you and say, you know what, bye-bye. We don't do that. So we ensure quality is built into every of our delivery. Right. So about the company has been going strong for over 4 years now. Registered in the UK, serve people all around the world. And since 2020 till date, over 20,000 as people has enrolled or passed through this journey with us as well. So that is it about the company. About myself, again, my name is Akin Oladeji. I happen to transition as well. My background was in accounting. I transitioned to become a software automation engineer. So back then as well, I took the same kind of training, for 3 months. And imagine someone coming from a non-IT background or a non-technical background, and you are enrolling. I'm not even enrolling on manual testing, or I enrolled on software automation engineer testing role that you need to write script in programming language like C#, which is really technical, you know. But I asked a question before I started on the journey back then that, can someone with no technical background, non-IT background, embark on this journey? Not only embark, at the end of the program, I'm able to get something out of it. And the guy said, well, you know what, if you are determined enough, nothing is impossible. With that mindset, I started the process. I know the process is going to be tough, it's going to be hard, but I told myself, you know what, come rain, come shine, I'm ready to do this work. Because I was tired of what I was doing as a then. I needed a change badly. you know. And I told myself as well that in my class, I'll ensure, I be the best, not because I know it, but because I portray myself to be the best so that people can come to me and say, you know what, oh, we are stuck, can you help us out? And I'll go and research, read more, and come back to them with solutions. And that was what I did. I got so good 2 weeks after I finished that 3-month masterclass back then. And bear in mind, there wasn't any support. We had to do most of it as in ourselves. If you see me that period, you think I was on drugs because of my eyeballs, sleepless night, and all of that. But glory be to God, or thanks, to God. 2 weeks after that process, I was able to land myself, a software or a senior software automation role. And this whole lane with pride today started from that transitioning journey, back then. And that is why I know that it doesn't matter what you studied in school. It doesn't matter what you've been doing for the last 10, 15 years. Whether you studied geography at school or accounting, or you've been working as a customer service or even a security officer for the last 7, 10 years, it doesn't matter. What is required on the journey is your determination. As long as you've configured your mind that, you know what, this is what I want. I want to be a software tester, then leave the rest. As long as you are ready to do the job, as long as you are ready to put in your best to ensure you get the best value for your money, then it's going to be done. Your heart desire will come true, but you need to have that determination. So whether you are from a non-IT background or non-technical background, as long as you have that determination, you can embark on the journey. And compared to back then that I did mine, you now have the support, you have the mentorship, you have the community that you can leverage on. You are not alone on the journey. You are not solving all these issues yourself. You have people that you can go to, and resolve it for you, work together and resolve it for you as well. And this is what I normally tell people as well. No training organizations will actually go 100 yards. What do I mean? When enrolling with us is like a 50-50 kind of a partnership. Partnership in the sense that we as a training organization, we are going to do our best. We are going to do our bit. And what is our bit? We are going to provide you with the platform. We are going to equip you with the right tools, with the right knowledge. We are going to mentor you. We are going to support you. We are going to do all those for you. On the other end as well, the other 50% needs to be done by you. How? You need to go above and beyond what has been covered in class. If your training days is twice a week, that doesn't mean your learning has to be restricted to twice a week. Remember, at the end of the program, you want to compete with those who have been doing it in the industry for the last, God knows, 2, 3 years. For that to happen, you need to devote your time every single day into the process. When it comes to the live project, you need to get your hands dirty. You can't be at the back seat. You can't take the back seat. No. So you need to make a sacrifice. The journey is doable. The transitioning is possible, but you need to make the sacrifice. So if you can do your own 50%, if we can do our own 50%, then we can achieve 100%. The moment that happens, then the sky is just the beginning. That means you are more than capable, you are more than ready to start competing out there. So why are people transitioning? Why the rush to tech? It's because, people now realize that it's the only career path that can give you that family work balance that you required. Many people don't get to see their kids until weekend. Before the kids wake up in the morning, they are gone. Before they come back at night, the kids are already sleeping. Meaning they don't get to see their parents till weekend. You might be making the money, but that is not life. You know, that is not life. And people have started to realize that now. And the reason why, what can I do that will still fetch me the same kind of amount of money, but give me more time to do other things? Also, remote working. You don't have to, physically go in most jobs now for you to perform your roles, meaning you have more than enough time to do other things. You can do school runs. You can take your kids to school. You can take your car to the mechanic. Not that you are not working, but mind you, you are simply working smart. There's a difference between working smart and working hard. Most people in tech are working smart, you know, as long as you know your onions, that time that you're going to the mechanic or you're driving, you're dropping your kids at school, not like, as I said, not like you're not working, but maybe you're just in the meeting. Meeting, you can do it on mobile. You can join Teams on your mobile. You can join Zoom on your mobile, you know? So things like that. Also, why are people considering transitioning to tech? Because, as I said, you can work remotely. But the good part there now is working remotely, it's not only limited to your country of residence. As long as you know your onions, as long as you know what you're doing, you can apply for remote jobs in any part of the world. Meaning you might be living in Ghana and you can apply for remote jobs in Malta, because a software tester in Nigeria performs the same role as a software tester in Malta, in Ireland, in UK, in US. Unlike a lawyer in Nigeria cannot be a lawyer in the UK unless you go through some examination and all of that before you can practice law elsewhere. So you can see why tech is the order of the day now. You can be in Nigeria and apply for remote jobs in Canada, in Ireland, without leaving the shores of your country, and you are earning in foreign currency. And the thing now is, companies abroad as well, they are trying to save. They want to cut cost. A company in the US is looking for a software tester. They have a budget of, let's say $500 per day for that software tester. But again, they are looking for ways they can cut that cost. They don't want to spend that $500 a day. And they know if they look elsewhere, maybe like Asia or Africa, they can actually get it cheaper. They can get a qualified candidate, at a cheap rate. Now they reach out to someone, let's say from Nigeria, and they are willing to offer $150 a day. $150 a day per day in Nigeria at the moment, I think, is over 200,000 naira. So it is still, despite the fact that they are shortchanging it, it is still a win-win for both parties, because you getting over 200,000 naira per day times 20 days, that is still a lot of money. That is a win-win. And at the other end as well, they too are saving $350. you know so that is the reason why companies are looking for qualified candidates as well, in any part of the world, especially Asia and Africa now. And this is the best time to actually transition, because the jobs are out there. Software tester is required in most organizations, if not every organization, especially if they are into SDLC, that is software development lifecycle. It is required. There is no way they can do without it. AI cannot take that role. You are going to be hearing more about the roles of a software tester when I call on the facilitator to shed more light into that. So just to give you an hint, why people are changing, why, people are considering different transitioning journey all around the world. And I can tell you for free or for fact that tonight you're actually in the right place. Right. So I'm going to be using UK as my benchmark because that is where we are, but it doesn't matter the country, right? So the average salary when you are considering a permanent role in the UK, you'll be looking around 45, 50,000 pounds, which is a good money, which is a lot of money. Because even in the UK itself, majority, I can say 60% living in the UK earns between 18,000 pounds and 35,000 pounds per annum. That is the bracket that majority falls between 18,000 pounds and 35,000 pounds. And you completing a 4-month, 5-month program, you can get a 45,000 role, you can get a 50,000 role. That is, you are even outside that bracket already. That means you are doing fantastically well. If you are considering a contract role is, they only want someone, a software tester for maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. There's no benefit attached to that role. There's no sick pay. There's no, if you go on holiday, they are not paying for it. But you are getting they are paying you really, really well on a daily basis. So if you are considering a contract role, then you'll be looking around 300, 350, 400, 500 pounds a day. Let's even assume you are earning 400 pounds a day. That is 8,000 pounds a month. Even if the contract is just for 6 months, that is still a lot of money. Many people, what you're going to get in 6 months, many people are not getting it in 2 years. A large portion of people living in the UK are not getting it in 2 years. So it is still a win-win for everyone. Also, aside you working remotely or being able to work for any company, regardless of your country, also it's one of the shortage skilled worker in the UK as well. Meaning, if you apply for any role, you did well, they like you, they can apply for a sponsorship visa for you from your local country, without stress. That is just an added advantage that you can get from transitioning to become a software tester. Another one is you can work remotely from anywhere in the world. I said this earlier, it doesn't matter where you live. As long as you can, as long as you've acquired the knowledge, the skills required to function on that role, you can apply for a software tester in any part of the world. Now imagine how big the world is. You are not only restricting yourself to the United Kingdom, you are not only restricting yourself to the United States, you are not only restricting yourself to Nigeria or Ghana, the whole world. And it's the same thing, as I said, the same role you perform as a software tester in Nigeria is the same thing in the United Kingdom, in Australia, in Canada. Nothing. No difference, rather. It's in high demand. As I said, most organizations require this service. Nobody wants to ship a product that is full of bug or defects to the market. Imagine you want to log into your email, and you couldn't. Or no, let's not even use email. Let's use any e-commerce website. Let's use Amazon. You want to log into Amazon to purchase 1 or 2 things, but you couldn't. It's giving you error. Even if that happens for 2 minutes, do you know how much money Amazon is going to lose for people not able to log in just for 2 minutes all around the world? They're going to lose a lot of money. So every organization wants to ensure that before they deploy to production, which is the live environment that you and I, we can see and use, they want to ensure that quality is built into their, product. And the only way you can build a quality into a product is by, going through a thorough testing. by a software tester. Now tell me how your role will be replaced by an AI. No. So it's in high demand. I know people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Despite the fact that they are doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs, they don't go beyond their closing time. Why? Because they are working smart, not working hard. All right, let's go on. I hope you are following me. So, if you are to decide that, you know what, it's time for a change, I need to unlearn and relearn new things. I want to start a new career path. If you are thinking in that direction, I can say congratulations to you, because you are actually in the right place at the right time. So if you are that person and you are thinking you want to join or you want to enroll, what is going to be the roadmap, the structure when you come on board? The first one is the training. So it's a 4 month. Again, compared to other training organizations out there that they do 1 month training and say you are good enough, go. We don't do that. So we build quality into our training itself. So the training program, the practical training, is for 4 months, which runs twice a week for 4 months. And during these 4 months, all the testing, out there will be covered, because we have different type of testings. Manual testing will be covered. API testing will be covered. Performance testing will be covered. Mobile testing will be covered. Automation testing will be covered, meaning you are getting 5 different trainings for the price of one. We are not only teaching you on manual testing. We want you to finish our program and you can spread your wings and fly anywhere you want to fly. If it's manual tester that you are comfortable in applying for, you can start applying for a manual testing role. If it's an API testing you're comfortable with and you like, you can start applying for it. But if you are the type that wants to leverage on everything, then just imagine how many tools, how many industry standard tools you'll be exposed to with all these 5 different testings. You now imagine putting all those 5 different testing on your CV, including all the tools that you've used to perform these 5 different testing on your CV. Now imagine how hot your CV will be out there in front of the recruiters. That is the level we want you to be. That is the level we want to equip you, so that by the time you start applying for a job, you know what you are doing and you can defend what you are saying as well. Meaning you are getting more than, more than the value of the money you paid for the training. Again, you are getting like 5 different trainings for the price of one. All right, so the training itself is for 4 months. Then the next bit will be the project. You'll be working on a live project for another 2 months, where you'll be working as part of a full Scrum team. In your team, you have a developer, you have a Scrum Master, you have a product owner, you have a business analyst, you have yourself as a tester, and all of you guys are working together as a team to deliver a solution for a client. This will take you through another experience of working in an agile environment, exposing you to agile rituals, which you cannot escape from interviews. They will surely ask you. So it's like the only difference is we are not paying you for that job that you are doing. But it's nothing different from the one you are getting £400 a day or $400 a day for. But again, as long as you are ready to commit yourself into the journey, you are going to get the best out of it as well. So you go through the training, practical training for 4 months. You'll be involved on a live project, not a capstone project, for another 2 months. When this 2 is done, the next is the optimization of your brand. But this is very important stage as well. Yes, you can call yourself a software tester now because you know what you are doing. You can test any system, given to you. You know how things are done in an agile setting. You know all those things. But you now realize that you are not getting calls, despite the fact that you know what you are doing. You are not getting these calls. Nobody is calling you. Recruiters are not reaching out to you. The reason why they are not reaching out to you is because you are not visible in the market. When you are not visible in the market, nobody can see you. It's like you are invisible. And the reason why you are not visible in the market is because of your brand. Your brand needs to talk for you. What is your brand? Your brand starts from your CV, especially if you are applying for an international role, foreign roles. You need to revamp your CV to international standard as well. When we are talking about branding, what else can represent you? LinkedIn is one of them. LinkedIn has now become one of the most popular places that recruiters, go to now to look for qualified candidates to fill their roles. You need to be in those spaces. When this stage is done right, then you see the effects of step 1 and step 2, which is the practical training and the project that you just completed. Because when they start calling you for interviews, you'll be able to demonstrate what what you know or what you've done on the project and during the practical training. But before you can get to that stage, you need to optimize your brand. Your brand needs to speak for you. All right. So let's move on. After the optimization of your brand, then you start applying for jobs, as you're applying for jobs, recruiters are reaching out to you as well. We saw your profile on LinkedIn. Are you still in the market? Are you available for a quick call? Things like that. That is what you want to start getting. As that one is going on one side, on the other side, you are applying manually yourself as well. And finally, when all these calls now get converted to first stage interview, that is another stage that we assist with as well. Because at the end of the day, your success is also our success. When you are able to land that dream job, someone somewhere will ask you, Adam, how did you do it? Because I know as at 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago, you were working as a customer service. How come from a customer service, you are now a software tester? Then you can tell your story. And part of that story will involve learn with pride. That is what we want. So we are going to ensure everything to empower you, to get you ready for that job. We are going to do a bit. And part of that bit is preparing you for an interview. So that when you go for that interview, you can ace it. You can be confident that, you know what, I got this. This job is mine. This role is mine. Why on this point, interview preparation, let me take this opportunity to talk about other benefits that is attached to enrolling with Learn with Pride. Number 1, you get the practical training. Number 2, you get to work on a real life project. Number 3, you get the mentorship. Number 4, you get the support. We all need the support on the journey. Number 5, interview preparation. Number 6, all our courses, they are CPD accredited, meaning they meet the professional standard, and the certificate that you get at the end of the program is recognized in over 60 countries. In UK, Canada, Australia, Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South Africa, in over 60 countries, the certificate is recognized. And finally, we give you a work reference for the duration you are with us, because you'll be working on one of our projects. So that is you working for us, and we give you a work reference for that. Among other things that you are going to get from Learn with Pride, that the time will not permit us to say, because the moment you enroll, you become part of the family. Ending your program, at the end of your program, it is not a bye-bye. No, it's not like we don't know you again. No, nothing like that. Because what we are trying to build there is a community. Everybody needs that so that you can leverage on it. A good example would be you finally secure the role. On that role, you are now stuck. You reach out to your facilitator too, at that point is busy. Who do you go to next? But if you have this kind of a community that we are building, then you can be rest assured that even if your facilitator is not around, other people are there to help you out. That is the type of community, or that is the type of training organization you want to belong to. Aside that as well, aside your training days, we always hold a session twice every month that we call a career motivation session, where we go through different things. This week, it might be going through toolings, different type of tools used out there and all of that. Next week might be bringing someone, maybe one of the ex-students, to come and share their story. Remember, information is power. Tiny information can make a massive difference. So you learn new things from that session, different things from that session as well. All right, so let's move on. So those are the benefits that I can think of for now, among others, that is available to you the moment you enroll on the course. This is just a start. Since 2020 till date, over 20,000 students has enrolled on the journey. The breakdown of each courses, but this was last year. And finally, 85% of our students are secured a role out there. Probably 50% working in the public sector, 35% in the private sector, and 15% are job ready. And the next one is a sample software testing role. You can see the first one is 100% remote, and it's paying between 300 and 325 per day. 300 pounds, that is 6,000 pounds a month. How many months is the contract? They did not put. Fully remote, and initially around 6 months. So you can see, and all of them, they will extend. Most of them, rather, they always extend. So getting 6,000 pounds for 6 months, that is a lot of money. You are getting 6,000 pounds a month when some people are struggling to even get 1,500 a month. And those struggling to get 1,500 a month, they are working hard for that 1,500. They are working really, really hard. And meanwhile, you are working smart on the other end, and you are getting 6,000 pounds. That is the difference of 4,500. Difference of 4,500, and you are in your house working. 5 o'clock, you can start watching TV. No stress. But those getting 1,500, 8 p.m., they are not back at home. You can see the difference. Everyone can get to that level. But before you can get to that level of comfort, you need to invest in yourself. You need to unlearn the old things that you know. And you are ready for a new journey. You want to relearn new things. And that new things that you want to relearn will take you places, will open doors, for you. All right. So let's move on. I talked too much. The next one is a permanent role paying up to 50,000 per annum. And that is it. All right. So, let's talk about the price quickly. So the actual cost, I'm not looking at the advanced now. I'm talking about advanced is just addition of Linktree, Linktree, which one is there again? CV, cover letter, and there's another one. LinkedIn optimization. Yes. So I'm talking about intermediate because that's the most popular one. The actual cost is £999, right? And that is everything I've talked about. You get it as well. The training, the project, the mentorship, the support, interview preparation, CPD accredited certificate, everything comes with that one. Apart only CV, LinkedIn, cover letter, Upwork. Those are the ones that are not included, that are in the advance, right? But every other things aside the CV, LinkedIn, cover letter, everything is in intermediate. The price is actually £999, but there's a 50% discount on it. That will make it £499, and that £499 can be paid twice. You can start with half payment, and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. The starter one is for those that are only interested in the training. They don't want to do the projects. They just want to do only the training. The actual price for that one is, there's a mistake in the price. The actual price for that one is $499, but there's a 50% as well on it, so that will make it $299. Sorry, $249. Right, not $199. That will make it $249 half price. If you just want to do the training, that will be $249 half price. The next cohort starts on the 22nd of May, but there's a further discount that I want to offer. So for the cohort starting on the 22nd, we have 8 slots, I believe, 8 slots for that cohort starting on the 22nd. So we have the 50%, as you can see on the screen, for anyone that wants to enroll on or before the, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, on or before the training day, the training start, the 50% is available. The only but there is, if the slot is not available, then you won't be chanced. That is why you should reserve your spot as soon as possible. But the other discount, the final discount that we want to give out tonight, is for those that want to take up a 24 hours offer. What do I mean? So a 60% discount will be given, meaning you can get the course, the intermediate one, for £399. But it is only, the only but there is, it is only payable once. So if you are getting a 60% discount, it is only payable once. And it only lasts for 24 hours. So that means by this time tomorrow, you have until this time tomorrow if you want to leverage on the 60% discount. In Naira, for the intermediate, the actual cost is 900,000 Naira. But the half price of that is 450,000 Naira, which you can pay twice as well. You can start with half payment, and the other half you can pay within 6 to 8 weeks. And if you want to take up the 60% offer, you can get it for 360,000 naira. But that is only payable once, and it only lasts for 24 hours. Again, we only have 8 slots 8 slots available for the cohort starting on the 22nd of this month. If you are interested, again, for those who have done their due diligence and maybe you've called other training organizations and you can compare and contrast, the prices, you know that what you are getting for that price the benefit is way, way, way more. Remember, you are getting 5 different training: manual testing, API testing, performance testing, mobile testing, and automation testing. Now tell me how you won't be able to get a job at the end of the program when you have all these 5 skills level and you can showcase that on your CV as well. The only person stopping you is yourself, and most of the time we procrastinate a lot, Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next year. Oh, I don't have the plan now. And the thing is, when family members come with, oh, we need this, you can even go and borrow that money and give to them. Meanwhile, when it comes to investing in your own self to give you a better tomorrow, we are always reluctant. Procrastination. And meanwhile, there's a saying that says procrastination is the assassination of all destination. What you want to do, don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow waits for no one. When tomorrow comes, there will always be another tomorrow. So why not make A when the sun shines? If you are interested in what you've heard so far, if you want to take a chance, if you want to rewrite the narrative, the number on your screen right now is the best number to call. The WhatsApp number on your screen is the best number to WhatsApp to send a message to if you want to enroll on the journey, and someone will respond back to you. So if you have any question, if you want to enroll on the journey, if you want to secure your spot and be one of these 8 people, the WhatsApp number on your screen will be the best number for you to call. So you can take a screenshot, you can save it on your phone as well. All right, I believe that is where I'm going to be pausing for now. Also, you can pay with credit card. You can, regardless of your country of location, we have means that you can make payment as well, whether in Nigeria, in UK, in USA, we have payment method that are suitable for everyone. So for now, I'm going to be pausing and I'm going to be inviting Samuel, who is going to be the facilitator that will take you on the journey if you are to be enrolling on this journey with us, to shed more light into the life of a software tester, what it entails, the benefits and all of that, and why this is the best time for you to transition. So without further ado, I'm going to see you soon. Thank you for listening to me. Bye for now. Samuel, over to you.
All right, King, thank you so much. So please, if you can see my screen, let me know.
Yes, we can.
All right. So software quality assurance engineering, in another, like in a layman term, they call it software testing. So I just want to run a brief introduction about myself as the facilitator in this powerful training that you people will be enrolling in. So the course instructor, as mentioned, my name is Samuel Ubong. I hold master's degree in computing science and also in education as well. A registered teacher. I have been trained on how to teach, not just a computer scientist and a software quality assurance engineer, but as well a trained and professional teacher. I have over 5 years of experience in IT, which is of these 15 years of experience in information technology is dedicated to quality assurance engineering. Currently, I work as a software test automation engineer with MTN Nigeria, and also as a software quality assurance engineer with Neotech in United Kingdom. I'm currently based in Lagos, Nigeria. So if you want to know more about me, just check me out on LinkedIn. Just type Sam Belubong. Of course, once you see a profile picture that looks like this, then you know it's Sam Belubong. And on the LinkedIn, you see a special badge on the LinkedIn profile that capture top voice in software testing. So that was a badge given or awarded to me by LinkedIn, having recognized my contribution to the field of software testing over the years. Right, so having done that, so what you should know about software quality assurance engineering is that software testing is basically a process of analyzing software items just to detect defects. So when they say software quality assurance engineering, what it means is about analyzing software product to come up with defects. Now, take for instance, bank application, your bank app on your mobile device. So you need to make a transfer to someone. You just open your app, you log into the app, and you click on the transfer button, and it redirects you to another page where you can supply the recipient's account number and also provide the amount of money you want to transfer. And boom, you are able to send money to someone. Same goes to when you want to purchase or pay for bills, like utility bills. You just can use your bank app to do this, right? So no company or no bank would ship that product, that software you are using, without conducting thorough testing. They have people that are dedicated to testing these products, tell the stakeholders that the software is working as per requirements, that the software is functioning as required before this software can be shipped to Play stores where Android users can download, before it can be shipped to iOS store where Apple users can also download, and also for the web version before this is also uploaded to the server where anybody with a smart device via browser can also access the application. So they need people to test the application. Probably one way or the other, you have been testing application without knowing and without even getting money from it, right? So software testing is basically the same thing as you making use of the application. So we have people that just will be acting like the end users. They'll be the one to use the application first and also report, having used this application, what is your experience on the application? Is it working as required? Can you comfortably or successfully transfer money from your own account to another account? And if that is possible, how many minutes did it take for that transaction to complete? So these are things we look for when we are testing application. So once you enroll in this program, we will basically be taking you through all aspects of software testing. That's why the training will span for 4 months. The first month, you get to learn everything about manual testing, all the of software testing. So once you're comfortable with that, we move to performance testing, where you get to see how the application itself behaves. So if you have been in Nigeria, you would have noticed that at times federal government will have an opening in any of the parastatal, and they ask the youth to go on a certain website and apply. In less than 24 hours of launching the site, the next thing you hear is that the site is unreachable. Users are unable to reach the site. No application is being able to submit. So these are some things that we're not taking into consideration. Things like the capacity of the application. How many users can this software handle per unit of time? How many users or how many application can the system process? right? So we also have been experiencing this as well with your banking app. That times you want to transfer money and the spinning icon keeps spinning. It spins for about 30 minutes without the transaction going through. So these are things that we're not taking into consideration. But if you notice the new banks now that we are using called fintech, I don't want to mention names, but of course you've been using, I believe that a lot of people have been using either one or two of the fintech app, and you clearly see the difference between the commercial bank application, mobile app, and also the fintech mobile app. Once you want to transfer money with the fintech, it goes through, and instantly you get an alert that money has been, some certain amount of money has been deposited in your account. But for commercial bank, this alert may not come instantly. It may delay. It could be that probably this commercial bank have more customers than the fintech. So some things will not be taken into consideration, and as such, the transaction may delay sometimes to get through. So these are things we consider in software testing. Check to see the amount of time it takes and also the resources required for this transaction to be done. So you'll be learning all of this in terms of performance testing, getting to see how well the system performs. And once we know that you are comfortable with that, then we will move to API testing. So the software itself is being divided into two sections, where you have the front end and you also have the back end. So the back end is the aspect you don't have access to. You don't get to see what is done in the back end. Then the one you interact with is called the front end, where you can also open your mobile app and you are able to enter your password and username and click on login, and you are on the dashboard. So that interactive part is the front end. While the back end, you don't have to check that. So in the course of this training, we will show you how to test the back end and also how to run tests on the front end. The good thing is that at the end of the 4 months training, you can decide to specialize either in UI testing, which is the manual part of testing, or you want to specialize in back-end testing, which is the API testing, or you want to even specialize in database testing. Is it mobile testing, or is it web testing, or is it performance testing? So you have a choice. And the good thing is that you learn all of these things in case you happen to work for a company that requires you to do all of this. But for some organizations out there, they will tell you we offer software testing in 1 month. It's not possible for you to learn everything in testing in 1 month. So that's why we span this training across 4 months. So you'll be able to learn everything that you have to, everything that is needed for you to succeed in the industry. Right. So that's just a brief summary of how the training would look like and what you should expect in software testing. So why do companies need software testers? Simple, for security, right? Just like I've mentioned, the banking application, we don't have, no bank will deploy application to the point that end users will start using without thorough testing. They have to test the application security-wise to be sure that unauthorized users are unable to log in. If there's a defect in any application, it means that even if a user types a password or a username that is not correct, then that user or that individual may be able to access the banking app and as well may be able to transfer money from any account. So this has to be tested thoroughly to be sure that unauthorized users are unable to log in, just to ensure and also to be sure that the security of the system is guaranteed before deployment can happen. Another reason why they employ software testers is just to save money, right? So if any company ship a software that is full of defects, full of bug, right, it means that that company at the end of the day may lose money. It has happened over time. We have seen even when Boeing plane crashed. So Boeing as a aircraft manufacturing company had manufactured a certain model of their airplanes, and this particular model was shipped to aircraft operators, and along the line, it was shipped with some hardware defect, which they tried to correct with computer system, computer software. Like the nose of the plane, once the pilot takes off, the nose of the plane was pointing up, and they had to bring down the nose of the plane just with computer. And once that computer is activated, the pilot has no control over the plane. So it is the computer that will handle this. And then the mistake they did was to have one sensor out there, and this sensor at that point was faulty, sending a wrong signal to the computer system that the nose of the plane is going up. And once that signal got to the computer system, the system was activated, trying to bring down the nose of the plane to normalize the nose of the plane, whereas the nose of the plane wasn't pointed upward. And as such, that brought down almost the 3 crashes of that particular airplanes. And at the end of the day, Boeing as a software company lost a huge sum of amounts. They had to pay fine ranging in millions of dollars. And they also had to pay compensation to families of people that lost their lives. And they also have to ground and also record a particular model of airplane after spending a huge sum of amounts to manufacture about, nobody knows how many pieces that was manufactured, and that was much. So no company wants to see themselves in the same condition Boeing went through. So that's why a lot of companies pay attention to software testing to be sure that the system is working perfectly fine before they can ship to the end users. So no company wants to lose money. They want to save money. That's why they employ software testers. Next is the brand protection, protect brand reputation. So this happened to Boeing at the point where Boeing planes were crashing up and down. A lot of travelers boycotted Boeing planes. Once they want to travel and the aircraft that will be taking them to their destination is Boeing, a lot of them would just boycott and say, no, I'm not going to be flying in Boeing, right? So that was a great loss to Boeing in terms of brand reputation, and no organization wants to do this. Next up, why they employ software tester is to boost customer contentment. All of these reasons can be seen. We can even use Boeing to show you why software companies require software testers, right? So that they will protect their brand, so that they will make sure that the security of the business is there, and also protect customer contentment, and also protect their quality as well in terms of product quality, right? So the software tester will basically test the application and report to the organization where there is defect. And once this is reported, then developers has to work to make sure that that defect is fixed, and thereby enhancing the quality of the product. So if we are building an application and it takes longer than 3 minutes for that application to load, a user is trying to access a certain URL, having typed, let's say, www.example.com, and the user has hit enter, it should take less than at least 2 seconds for that website to load. And if it takes longer than that, not all users will have the patience to wait for your application to load. And as such, you may lose customers on that particular site, right? So this also enhances quality. Once the tester tests and notices that, oh, this application takes longer than 3 seconds to load, I will have to report this. And once this defect is reported, then the engineering team or the engineering managers or the developers have to look inward into their code and make sure that this long waiting time for the application to load is resolved. Thereby, once that is resolved, then the application quality is enhanced. Then next is, what does a software tester do? You need to know, if you enroll with us and you get a software tester, what will be your duty to organizations? The typical function of a software tester is to help companies save costs. Once you test an application and that application quality is enhanced, then you will also be able to help the company make more money and also generate a huge revenue to the organization. Because at the end of the day, every company is out to make profits. So if the product is not in top quality, then users will stop using the application. Imagine you want to order from any e-commerce website, and every time you want to log into that site, you are unable to place an order for a particular item that you are looking for. It gets to a point that when you want to order, you try to boycott that particular website. You won't want to order from them. So no company wants to put themselves in that particular situation, right? So as a software tester, your duty will be to be testing application, find as much defect as you can. And this is why you should enroll, because we will show you how to hunt for defects in software using all the available tools. And all the tools we'll be using are open source, meaning you are not going to pay for any tool. All the tools are free to use. If we are using Cypress for automation, it is free. You don't have to worry about, oh, will I have the money to buy this tool? So when we talk about software testing, it's basically knowing the tools to use to test and how to use these tools. And once you enroll, we will show you how to use these tools and what tools are used in the industry for software testing, right? Then all right, so this is something we have already covered. What does a software tester do? So software testing, in summary, software testing is basically divided into 3 sections. We have the black box testing, the gray, and also the white box. So the black box is where you are trying to check if a user can log in on the application successfully. And what happens when a user have logged in? Can the user use other features on the dashboard? So this is black box. And aside this, you also look at some features like what happens when a user is trying to sign up. A new user is trying to get added to the system. Is this possible? What happens when we click on the sign up button? Is it something that a user can just click on the sign up button and is also able to sign up, and a new user is also added to the system, which also translates to more money for the organization? Then the other one, under the black box testing, we have the functional and the non-functional. So the functional, we talk about the regression, progression, smoke. So all these are terms in software testing that once you enroll with us, we will walk you through all of this. So the sanity testing is just when you are trying to check the application at the initial state, just basically checking the features, the key features, if they are working as expected. So if basically the application is to transfer funds, pay utility bills like NEPA bills, also pay electricity bills, purchase data, buy airtime. So the sanity testing and smoke testing at this point will be you trying to check if a user downloads this application, would a user be able to conduct or carry out these activities on the application. Then the other one is the non-functional testing, where you try to conduct what is known as security testing, check to see the security vulnerabilities in that particular application. What happens if a user tries to sign up or log in with invalid credential? Is this successful? Is this possible? Then you report. If a user can just type any password and is able to log in, then that is a serious defect that has to be fixed. Then we will show you what tools that are used in security testing and how to use those tools to conduct your security testing, including the reliability. How reliable is the application? The usability, how easy is it for users to make use of that application? You agree with me that a system like Facebook and Twitter, Facebook is more easier to use than Twitter. So in fact, we even have a situation where even some educated people find it difficult to navigate their way around Twitter because of how the user interface is built. So part of testing is just for you to also check the usability of the application. Is it easy for users to use, or is the application difficult for someone to just jump on it and understand? Because a typical application shouldn't require users to go through the manual to be able to use it. So once you have been able to use other applications and you are jumping on this new application, it should be a simple walkthrough for any new users, right? Then the compliance in terms of regulatory, we also show you how to do this. Then localization, like Facebook that is properly localized. But for those in Nigeria, you notice that Facebook supports 3 major languages, the Yoruba, the Igbo, and Hausa. So this is localization, right? So that it gives a sense of belonging to us here in Nigeria that, oh, you can just change the language on the application to Yoruba or to Igbo or to any other language you want. So this also gives a sense of belonging, and also localization can also be seen from the aspect of time zone as well. So the application, if you have an application that is global, like Facebook, where you have people from all over the world making use of it. So if I'm using Facebook from Nigeria, then Facebook should be able to show me time in my own local time. Then anyone in probably East Africa, it should be able to show time in East African time zone. And in Europe, the same thing. So this is localization. We will teach you how to test application in terms of checking the localization functionality in application that is global. This is very paramount for every software that is being used globally. Then under this not functional, we talk about the performance, which I have also mentioned, the load, which is the numbers of users, how many users can use this application comfortably. So in a situation where you have one person on a site, then that site will respond faster. You have to, the load time reduce. Once the higher the users on that platform, the slower the response time of that application. So load also impacts the performance of the application and also the response time of the application. So we will show you how to conduct performance testing using JMeter. And anyone with this knowledge, all of these things I've mentioned, all of them are in high demand in the industry. Once you have this knowledge in testing, either to conduct performance testing or security testing or conduct black box testing, either the functional or the non-functional, you have a place in the industry for you. Then the next step will be the scalability part. We will also teach you how to check if the application is scalable. And this also affects the load of the application as well. Then the white box testing is where you don't get to see this particular white box is where you are testing the developer's code, right? But this is not the duty of the QA. So this is what is this part of testing is handled by the software engineers, the developers that write the code to develop the application. So that the one that conducts the white box testing. Or there are also special people in the software testing field called SDET, Software Development Engineering Test. So this set of people are responsible for conducting white box testing. But the good part is that once you enroll with us, we'll also show you how to do white box testing. It's an added knowledge, right? So these are the things you'll be learning in software testing. And I can assure you that once you are equipped with this knowledge in testing, right, then before you know, you get a job, and the work here are well paid. Just like a lot of people already know, tech industry pay high. They pay a huge sum of amount. And I can assure you, if that, take for instance, people that read medicine in school, if you read medicine in school, you want to relocate probably to the Europe or to America, and your medical certificate is from university in, let's say, the third world, what they call the third world, you may not be able to practice in the Europe immediately or America without having to do some pre-qualification courses there before you can practice. But for software testing and for tech, it's not like that. Software testing is software testing anywhere you go. You can either relocate from Nigeria today to the UK, and the next day you can start working as a software tester without any qualification. Because software testing in Nigeria is the same thing you'll be doing in the Europe or in America, right? So how to become a software tester is simple. Just acquire the technical skills. And how will you acquire these technical skills? Once you enroll with us, then we will equip you with all the skills you need to succeed in the field of software testing, right? Benefit of software testing, job security, and high demand. There's the high demand for software testers. The demand is so high that the America is running shortage of software testers. The Europe, all of them are now focusing their attention in Africa, right? Because we also offer cheap labor and also have talented fellows in this field, right? So someone like me, I've never left the shores of Nigeria, but I've worked for a lot of organizations in the in America and also in the Europe as well. Right. So just enroll with us and we will teach you everything you need to know about software testing and more. Thank you so much. As I look forward to seeing you in class. Akin.
Thank you for that, Samuel. So if you have any question, please, this is the time you can start raising your hand, or you can drop your questions on the chat as well. If you have any questions, please let us ask. We are here to learn together, to share knowledge together. So please don't be shy to raise your hand, but if you don't want me to listen to hear you, if you don't want to talk to me, rather, you can drop your questions on the chat. But I'd like to hear from you, so there's nothing to be shy about. But while you still think about, while you are thinking about whether to ask, to raise your hand or to drop the question on the chat, let me quickly recap for those that joined late. Right. So the next cohort will be starting on the 22nd of May. The training runs twice a week, every Wednesdays and Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Every session is recorded, just in case if anyone misses any class, you can catch up with the recording. So that means you'll be onboarded on our LMS platform where you can just log in and have access to the recording at your own, listen to it at your own convenient time. Right. So the price for the training is, the actual price is £999. There's a 50% discount going on at the moment, which will make it £499. We only have 8 slots for the course starting on the 22nd. So after the 50% discount, you are going to be paying £499. The £499, half payment is required to start, and the other half you can pay within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. And the final discount that we giving out tonight is a 60% discount, but that one is only valid for 24 hours. For anyone that wants to enroll between tonight and tomorrow night, you'll be getting 60% discount, meaning you are going to get it for £399 or 360,000 naira if you are paying in naira. Those are the two offers that we have going on at the moment. So the number on your screen, the WhatsApp number, is the best number to message if you want to secure your spot. If you want to ask any question, the WhatsApp number will be the best number for you to contact. All right, Fidelis, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Fidelis.
I just want to ask, what programming language will you be using to take the classes, or does one have to have knowledge of any programming language?
I believe it's JavaScript, but Samuel, over to you.
Oh, it's JavaScript. So we'll be using Cypress. And also, I would also get to introduce you guys to a new tool in the industry as well. So both tools support JavaScript, the JavaScript programming language, which is also easy to learn and understand.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thanks, Fidelis. Omolola Adeleke. Omolola Adeleke, how much in Nigerian currency? So the actual price before any discount in Nigerian currency is 900,000 naira. With the 50% discount, that will reduce it down to 450,000 naira. The 450,000 naira you can pay twice. You can start with half payment, and you can pay the other half within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. And the 60% discount is only a one-time payment, and it's only a 24 hours offer, meaning it will expire tomorrow night. So 60% in Naira, the amount to pay will be 360,000 Naira, but that is only payable once. In pounds, that will be 399 pounds, but that is only payable once. But if you are going for 50% discount, you can pay twice for 50% discount. Sandra, please, you can unmute and ask your question.
Sorry, you just answered it. I wanted to know the price in Naira.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Thanks. All right. Shegun Olushola. What if I have done a course with Learn with Pride? Yes. So for ex-student of Learn with Pride, the cost to pay will be 229 for ex-student of Learn with Pride. For any ex-student, the price to pay will be 229. That's to Shegun. All right, Maxwell. Is the 60% discount payable twice? No. If you are taking the 60%, it's only payable once. And it's only for 24 hours. But the 50% is payable twice. For 50%, it is payable twice. Again, we've already reduced this thing so much. This amount we are charging is only meant for one what's it called? For one course, for one training. Take, for example, manual testing, right? But the price that you are paying for manual testing, you are getting these other trainings, for free, so to say. That is why I said for those who has actually done their due diligence, for those who has actually called other companies, training organizations, they will really know the benefits of what we are offering. It's not easy. I've not seen any organization that do the combination we have for the price that we are giving it out. So you are getting Omolola Adeleke, you are getting all 5 trainings. So for the software testing, you'll be trained on manual testing, you'll be trained on API testing, you'll be trained on performance testing, you'll be trained on mobile testing, and you'll be trained on automation testing. So you are getting 5 trainings for the price of one. Omolola, I don't know whether that has answered your question. So it's one price you are paying for everything I just listed, I just mentioned now. If that is clear enough, if that is not clear enough, you can raise your hand and you can ask me the question, and I'll try as much as possible to explain again. My question is, how do you answer it? 1 second. All right, I was just about to read your question out. All right, you can unmute yourself, iPhone.
Yeah, thank you very much. You said the course starts on the 22nd of
May.
this month, right?
That's
Okay.
correct.
And it lasts for 4 months, do you?
Yeah,
Is
the practical training is for 4 months. Then you still work on a live project, which is another 2 months. But the thing is, most of the time, the 2 months working on a live project might come before you finish your 4-month practical training. It all depends. It all depends.
Okay. The last thing was the WhatsApp number. You had 2 numbers. There was one for mobile and one for
Yeah. So if you want to call directly, you can call the mobile number. But if you want to send a message, you can send it. You can send it to the one. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. I think there's another iPhone. iPhone 2. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. My name is Godwin. I wanted to ask, I've dropped my message on the chat box, but fortunately you've already. And my question goes that, do you have maybe kind of companies that you associate with where, some of your students are being attached to them, or you have kind of a corporation that after the training of your students, and some of them are being employed in those companies? or kind of an internship aspect of, having a first, training with the company?
For a paid job, we don't have. It's something we are still working on because we need to be fair to everyone, and that is why most of our technique is to teach you how to fish yourself. Because by the time you do everything I said during this session, by the time you commit your own 50% into this process, plus our own 50%, I tell you, believe me or not, you don't need anyone at the end of the day when the calls will start rolling in, right? That is where we want our students. We don't want them to be reliant on us to get them a job. How many do we want to promise a job? That is why we need to be fair to everyone. And the way we can be fair to everyone is to fully equip everyone with the right skills and knowledge for them to be able to do so. But that being said, is in the pipeline. But for internship, if you still want to go for internship after you are done with us, maybe you are not confident enough. Number one, you have the opportunity to come back on our program to be a mentor to other ones that will just be starting. Also, we have another platform that we normally send the link out. If you want to go and do intern in another company, you can do as well, but you have to apply to that company as well, and they'll call you for interview for that. But it's not paid, right? But let me mention this quickly. At the end of any of our program, whether it's Scrum Master, software testing, we are not preparing you to start applying for an intern role at the end of the program. Please don't get that wrong. That is not the way we are equipping you. That, oh, I'm done with my 4-month or my 5-month or my 6-month software testing training. The only role I can apply for, let me be looking for an intern role to apply for. No, that is not how we are equipping you. We are equipping you to compete effectively with those who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2-3 years. I do tell people, if I can do it, you guys can read my profile. I've got my stories on YouTube everywhere as well. You can go and, listen to my story. You can type my name, Akin Oladeji, on Google. It will maybe take you there. If I can do it, my background was accounting. If I can do it, anyone with a great determination can make it happen as well. I don't think I'm that brilliant. The only thing that was different is I dedicated my time. Is like my life depend on it, and it happened. So that's the way. Yeah, but we still look. But we just have to be fair to everyone. It won't be unfair for you to be 15 in your class and we give 3 a job, and we don't, and the 13 or the other ones are hanging. It won't be fair as well. So why not just equip everyone equally and see what happens, after that. I hope that has answered your question, iPhone. You can unmute and tell me. Have I
Yeah,
answered?
I have another question. Yeah, do you have a physical office, maybe out here in the UK or out there in Nigeria, or is it just an online basis?
We have an office in the UK, but again, life has become so easy for people working in tech. All the staff, including myself, we work remotely at the comfort of your, nobody wants to, as long as you can work remotely, as long as you can deliver at the comfort of your own, of your own, you don't have to physically come in to work. We do have our register offices on our website as well. You can check that out as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Samuel, you raise your hand. You can unmute, Samuel.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Samuel.
Thank you very much. Please, I want to inquire if someone that doesn't have any experience at all, any previous experience concerning programming or software stuff, can the person easily cope? As in, is the program designed in such a way that a fresher, a novice can
Yes.
hope.
Yes. Again, if you listen to my story, I was a novice as well when I transitioned. I know completely coming from a non-IT background, non-technical background. But the only thing that matters on the journey, see, even if you go for the most simplest training, you still have to go through the order. There is no free pass anywhere. There's no free pass. You still need to, make the sacrifice. The only thing that matters on the journey is if you configure your mind in such a way that I know fully well that the journey might not be easy, but I'm ready to do everything to make it work for me. If you can have that mindset, every other thing will follow because you have the support. You have everything that you need. The only thing hindering you is yourself. As long as you can commit your time, sacrifice your time every single day, even if it's 1 hour or 2 hours, you need to do something on that journey relating to what you're doing at the moment. Every single day. Remember, at the end of the program, you want to compete. That is the only way you can compete. Your input will equals to your output at the end of the day. So yes, the answer to your question is yes, as long as you are ready for the journey, and as long as come rain, come shine, I'm not going to quit. The road might be rough, but I'm going to stand by it and ensure that I finish, not only finish, but get something, get a good job with that training, with that knowledge you just acquired.
Okay. It's okay. No problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Samuel. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. My question is, so let's go to Shegun. What if I have done the course? Yeah, Shegun, you can message me directly now. Then we can talk about that. For ex-students, if you're on the call and you are interested, you know the number, you can message directly and that will be sorted for you. Yes, message Shegun, just send a message. I believe something can be done because you're already a student or ex-student, then that shouldn't be a problem. Omolola battery low, I will connect. Is this training mostly people in Nigeria because I'm in UK? No, that is one thing about tech. No, there's no country restriction. It's for everyone. The company is in the UK. Our students are everywhere. UK, Nigeria, Ghana, Canada, Australia, everywhere, because a software in the UK is the same software in Nigeria. A software in Nigeria is the same software in the US. So no, it's not only for people in Nigeria. We are not in Nigeria. We are based in the UK. Right. That is to Nkechi. So yes, if you are in the UK, you are interested. It's the same journey. Nothing. It's tech. There's no limitation. There's no barrier in terms of country or. So yeah, it's for everyone. Whether you live in the UK, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, South Africa, it's for everyone. That's to Nkechi. For any other question that you might have, Nkechi, you can send a WhatsApp number to the number on your screen. Thanks. All right, I was unable to get the cost of training. Rose, the actual cost is £999. After 50% is £499. For the 50%, you can pay twice. You can start with half payment and the other half you can pay after 6 to 8 weeks. But the final offer, the final discount is the one for 60%, which only valid for 24 hours. So you can get 60%, which will reduce it further to £399 or 360,000 naira if you are paying naira. So that is the cost. Again, if you have any other question, Rosa, you can message the number on your screen. We have 7 slots now. We started with 8. We now have 7 slots. If you want to, as I said, the cohort starts on the 22nd. If you want to secure your spot, please do so on time. This will be an investment that you never regret. I can bet you with that. I can bet that with you, you will never regret that decision. If I have the same kind of opportunity during my own time, I believe, I'll move faster, But again, there's a reason for everything. You have the support. You are getting 5 trainings for the price of 1. You have the platform. You have the community you can leverage on. You are getting mentorship, interview preparation, all these things. It's like we are on the journey together. For anyone who is ready for the journey, we are ready to walk the walk with you. Is there a professional examination and certification attached to the training? So what you are getting with us is a CPD accredited certificate, just to ensure that what we are training you is up to a professional level, and the certificate is recognized in over 60 countries. CPD stands for Continuous Professional Development. That is what it stands for. But if you are talking about ISTQB, ISTQB doesn't come with it. And you can see me that since I've been talking since morning, I've never made mention of ISTQB or any professional body. I'm not saying it's bad, but again, I can only use myself as a point of reference. When I was transitioning, I have all these certificates, but because I was lacking the actual knowledge, the hands-on job training, knowledge rather, nobody was recruited and nobody wanted to hire me, right? Because especially in this side of the world, it's not about the certificate, it's about what you can demonstrate to the employer that you can do, right? But again, if you acquire the skills and knowledge, you can secure a job with that without a professional certificate. But if you have a professional certificate with no knowledge or skills, it will just lay on your bed, under your pillow. But again, I'm not saying it's bad, but the priority has changed. If it's something you still want to do, why not? You can do it, later on, or maybe after you are done with the practical training. You can still, if you want to add it to your list of, to your bucket list, you can do it. But with us, it only comes with a CPD accredited certificate, which is still recognized in over 60 countries. No, Kemi, we don't give ISTQB. It's not part of the package. We are preparing you to hit the ground running. So the way we are preparing you is, if Kemi was to be hired tomorrow, that they say, okay, come and resume work tomorrow, how are you going to function on that job successfully? That is how we are training you, because the books will not tell you that. ISTQB will not tell you that, how to survive on a job. But we are teaching you how to survive on a job. That is what we are teaching you. So for anyone interested in writing ISTQB, they still have to go and register for that separately, because we are not equipping you for that. We are equipping you for the job market. And if you want to know, I secured my very first role without me having, I don't think I've even passed. I have other ones because I wasn't considering at that point. Software testing wasn't part of my, list of career path. When it comes to, I was more looking into becoming a business analyst, project manager. I've done all those certifications, before I stumbled on a software testing course, practical training, which I did. It was after I secured my very first role before I said, you know what, let me just go and do this ISTQB for the sake of doing it, and I did it. But me securing my very first role, at that point, I haven't gotten my certificate, my ISTQB, but I have other ones, right? All right, so thank you. I'm actually a software developer, but want to transition to a professional tester. It will be easier for you, although, yeah, because you have the knowledge, because you've been dealing, I don't know the capacity or the levels that you work as a developer, but I'm sure you must have been dealing with software testers, so you have the knowledge of what they do already. You have to brush it up. That is it. That's Rosu. Your skill will sell you more than Nkechi. That is absolutely right. Yes. Things are changing. Gone are the days whereby it's all about certificate. Now it's all about, your skills and what you can demonstrate that you can do. That is it. That is what will get you the job, not the paper that you are holding. A typical example would be a Scrum Master. Some people will come to me and say they are a Scrum Master. Really? I said, where have you worked? I said that they've not started working, that they just passed the exam. Oh, really? So you just passed the exam and you're calling yourself a Scrum Master. My dear, you are not a Scrum Master. Because especially that, what the book tells you is totally different from how it is practiced in the real world. So if you go for interviews and start quoting what you read, in the textbook to pass that certification, they'll fish you out and say, you know what, this one hasn't done it before. So yeah. So any other question before we call it a day? Again, it's starting on the 22nd of May. We'll be glad to have you on board. We'll be glad to start the journey with you. We'll be glad to walk the walk with you and ensure that, at the end of the journey, you achieve your goal as well. If I can do it, I do tell people every time, who am I? What do I know? Anyone with a great determination can do it, can achieve it. And you can start earning 6 figures, as your salary, doing 2 jobs, 2 jobs that seems as if, because by the time you master your craft, you realize that you are not doing much, despite the fact that you are doing maybe 2 different jobs, But again, you can't see what awaits you after the tunnel, not until you go through that tunnel. You going through this process of equipping yourself, until that is done, you don't know what sort of job awaits you at the end of the tunnel. You don't know whether it's a 400 pound a day job or 50,000 per annum job. You don't know. So take the leap of faith. Believe in yourself that you can do it. Invest in yourself. That's the most important. And stop procrastination. Any further question from anyone? Any last question? Any word of wisdom from anyone? Either by raising up your hand or by dropping on the chat. Any final word from anyone? Nothing. All right. Thanks everyone for taking your time tonight to be with us. Hopefully you've learned one or two things on this session tonight. The best number to contact are those on your screen right now. Please don't hesitate to ask any question you want to ask by messaging those numbers. So until we see those of you that will be joining the session on the 22nd, from me to you, I say thank you so much for your time. Stay safe out there and have a good night rest. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. The recording will be available on the WhatsApp group, and also it will be available on our YouTube channel. If you are interested in rewatching it or you want to forward it to people, by tomorrow it should be on our YouTube channel. Just search for Learn with Pride. iPhone, you raise your hand. Okay, have I answered your question? Just search for Learn with Pride on YouTube. All right, you can ask your question, iPhone. You can unmute yourself.
So, yeah, I've unmuted myself. Okay, just for the final aspect, I think one of the questions that a particular person asked was that is it part of, for those of us who are in the UK? And I think one of the reasons why he asked it is that because most of us here, most of skill our skills and going to the market fully prepared, and that's why the professional certification we are asking, because just like you said, you have your office here, you know that is one of the key points that they may want to ask. Apart from your on-hand skills that you have, they believe in having those professional certificates, is also mandatory. And that is why I think one of those people was asking, is this certification also part of the training? But you have explained every other thing, and it takes on us to go extra mile to get those certification to make us well equipped. But finally, what my intention was is that in the space of these 3 months, 4 months that this training is going on, this 4 months that this training is going on, I really want to know, is it, if for example there's a break in transmission, somebody has to go, do this thing. Is there any way that you can assist that person when coming back, maybe work on any other thing, you can assist that person accelerating his training pace to meet up with the rest of the students?
Well, you mean if there's a break in transmission, let's assume you start with maybe them now, but for one reason or the other, you have to stop for a while and come back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sure. Correct. Thank you.
Yeah. So what the provision is, again, don't forget that every session is recorded. And you have access to it at your, at your disposal. You'll be onboarded on our LMS platform. You have access to it. You can rewatch it. If you now rewatch and you still stuck, you don't know what they are talking about, don't forget you have your facilitator. Don't forget we have a platform that you can leverage on. Don't forget that you are not the only one on the journey. That is why it is good that you have other people that you're on the same journey together, because you are creating one thing that is important on the journey is networking as well. You don't know who is who. You don't know who is going to get job first tomorrow. So that is why, it is a good thing, a good idea to network with everyone on the same training as you. Make friends with them so that when you are stuck, you are not only reliant on your facilitator, you have other people aside him that you can go to, that you've already made friends with as well. But if that now doesn't solve it, then you can rejoin the next cohort for that particular training. If you want to is that receipt? The training, you have the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope that has answered your question as well.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, iPhone. All right, so from me to you once again, what I was saying about the recording, if you want the recording, for those on the WhatsApp group, the recording will be available on the WhatsApp group. If you're not on the WhatsApp group, it will be available on our YouTube channel as well. Just search for Learn with Pride. You should see it by tomorrow. And again, if you have any question, the number is on your screen. Take a screenshot, save it, and you can ask any question afterwards. So till I see you on the journey on the 22nd of May, from me to you, I say thank you so much for your time. Have a good night rest and stay safe out there. Thanks. Bye-bye, everyone.